the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
This is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today, and we are reacting to Thursday Night Football. We're also going to give our predictions for Week 8, and then we're also going to talk about some basketball and baseball. World Series. Yeah, so let's get it started. Thursday Night Football. Surprisingly, another good Thursday Night Football game. Vikings versus Rams. Puka Nacua out of nowhere just gets activated.
Yeah.
He was playing, and he played really, really well. Matthew Stafford looked like one of the better QBs in the NFL. I put him in my top 6. He looked like a top 6 QB in this game. He was sensational. I think he had 4 touchdowns. Absolutely sensational Thursday Night Football game. Cooper Kupp, he was getting it going. After this game, I guess the Rams, they're not going to trade Cooper Kupp anymore. Shoot, because the way the division is looking, the NFC West,
I know, right?
they have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since now they have their 2 receivers back. Matthew Stafford looks healthy. He looks rejuvenized. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, that running attack. And the pass rush,
They was getting there.
hey, that
Jared versus Byron Young.
them dudes are legit.
Yeah.
But just getting to the game, sad news if you're a Vikings fan. Christian Darrisaw, he went out. He's their best. He's easily their best offensive lineman, one of the better left tackles in the NFL, for crying out loud. When my Packers faced the Vikings, we could not get any pressure against that offensive line for the Vikings. And part of that was because of Christian Darrisaw. He is going to be out for the remainder of the year. I think he tore his MCL and ACL, which is just unfortunate. You don't want to see that happen. So that is a huge loss for the Vikings because he is a difference maker for that team. I don't know how they're going to figure out a way to maneuver with this injury because, man, you could tell they really needed him because Jared Verse and you said Bryce Young?
Byron Young.
Byron Young? Them 2 dudes was coming after them. Sam Darnold had to step in the pocket so many times. He was mistargeting receivers because he was under pressure so much. That was such a huge loss for the Vikings, and it's going to be a huge loss for them when they go up against the NFC North later in the season. Now, their schedule is pretty light, so they have enough time to address the loss. But when you're going up against the Lions, when you're going against the Packers and the Chicago Bears, you better be able to protect Sam Darnold because if not, you're going to see what happened this past game, which is they lost against the Rams. So what was your reaction to the game?
My reaction to the game was I'm glad it was a solid game. I really am because Thursday Night Football has been terrible ever since they got it introduced to Prime. But this year they had some pretty good games. But yeah, man, I honestly I should have had better mind to pick the Rams or something. I picked the Vikings because it's the Vikings. They're good. They're blah blah blah. But I should have known it was something afoot. And I'll say one thing: the amount of flags the Rams got on third downs was absurd.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna say it was rigged or not. I ain't gonna do that. But dude, the amount of flags was crazy. And on the final drive, we all know about the face mask. And I'm trying to understand how there was 2 officials that didn't see it. And one official came out and said, "Oh, I couldn't see it because the angle I was standing at." I'm like, bull crap. He was standing literally. This was Sam Darnold and this was the judge. There's no way you ain't see his head turn like this with that man hand on his face mask.
You know what it was? Number one, I always hear this thing about home field advantage. And 2, because the referee didn't want to decide the game. So that's probably what it was. He saw it, but he was like, I don't want to decide the game. I don't want to be the reason why this game turns out the way it is. So I'm going to let the players play. Just a bad call. Miss call.
Horrible call, actually. And I got something to say about the Vikings. I saw a stat. So in the first 15 scripted plays, they are top 5 on offense. But after that, they're in the 20s.
Yo. Eeh.
And people may think, oh, that's a Sam Darnold problem. I think it's a Kevin O'Connell problem.
Uh-oh.
because this isn't a new theme for them. Because early in games, they always look good. They always scoring points. But then later on, they start to falter. Like, why are they going away from Justice Jefferson? Why are they going away from Jordan Addison, their playmakers? And you're just like, what happened to the offense?
Yeah.
And I think it's an offense. I think it's the head coach issue, because Kevin O'Connor was calling plays, and once they get past the scripted ones, it's kind of like, well, what do we do now? It's like his adjustments on as the game goes on isn't up to par.
Nah.
And they need to get that under control, especially now that your left tackle is done for the season. And it's just a big blow, because Darisaw really was holding down that side of field, really protecting his blind spot.
Yeah, he was. He was.
And
great.
now Sam Darnold, he tends to get a little antsy in the pocket. I've seen there's been plenty of times where he's doing that. He does this one thing that it pisses me off a little bit, because I'm like, dude, just relax. Mm-hmm. He will get back. He'll drop back. If he doesn't see like his first two reads, he'll like panic and then try to like spin out to the right. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he always gets himself sacked doing that. So it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. But Kevin O'Connor, you got to feed your playmakers from beginning to end, because there's no way Justin Jefferson, he was killing them.
He was. They
couldn't guard him,
bro. That one catch. God damn.
Yeah.
He might have the best hands in the NFL. Like, he's easily top 3.
Yeah, and there's just so many times like, dude, they literally can't stop this guy. Just keep going to him. And then I don't know. I just don't understand these offensive coordinators. Like he's the best receiver in the league, easily. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not stopping him. Just keep going to him.
No, they're not.
And like the run game is a little lackluster. I know Aaron Jones, he makes it look better than what it actually is, but there's a lot of times he's getting touched at the line of scrimmage.
HB dive.
Yeah. So the Vikings got to figure out, and that Brian Flores defense is starting to get figured out.
What I tell you weeks ago.
Teams attacking that middle of the field because it's lunch.
What I tell you, I said, hey, that Packers game, don't be surprised. Some weeks from now that teams start to figure it out a little bit. Good offensive teams start to figure, like Rams, Lions, Sean McVay. You got Ben Johnson, like them dudes. Some of the better play callers in the NFL. They gonna figure out a way to try to attack that defense. So, not shocking to me, because
you did say
the Packers, we came back. Remember, we were getting cooked that game. We were getting shut out. And then second half rolled around. The Packers, Jordan Love, I don't think he threw a pick. They were just dialing up against that team and almost won the game. So this is not new to me. I called this weeks ago in advance. But now, it took some time, but now we see. Now, their schedule is going to be a lot lighter, so they're going to go back to, the defense is great. But Lions, Packers, all these other great offensive teams, just you wait.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
So, yeah, that was pretty much my whole thoughts on the game. Rams came in with a good game plan. I didn't expect Puka to get as involved as he was, even though he played limited snaps. I think like a little over 50%. Mm-hmm. And he was doing getting whatever he wanted out there. I know people was mad because they was like, you said he was playing limited snap. They thought they wasn't going to go to him. I'm like, who else they going to throw to? I know Cooper Kupp is available, but like Puka's been the guy since last year. So, yeah, man. So salute to the Rams. This definitely feels like one of them wins where like, okay, let's turn the season around.
Yep, just like last year. Remember last year they started off slow. People were like, "What's wrong with the Rams? Should they trade Matthew Stafford? Mm-hmm. Has he fallen off?" And then all of a sudden, the second half of the year roll around, and they just started to pick it up. Matthew Stafford started playing like a top 5 QB in the NFL. People was hyping them up. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were really getting it going. Kyron Williams came onto the scene as well. Same thing's happening now. Like, around this time is where they started to get it together, and you see that now their offense is back to where it was the previous season, where they were just dialing up. They were just being consistently good. Matthew Stafford just making so many good plays. His arm talent is one of the best arms in the NFL. It's not surprising. It's not surprising at all, man. Once they get healthy, they're one of the better offenses in the NFL, and they showed it Thursday night against a really, really good Vikings team that, if they're healthy, they can compete with anybody. So, no shock there. I had them as, I think, finishing number 2 in the division. This is why. Yeah. Because of Matthew Stafford. Now, I don't know if the 49ers are going to win.
If the 49ers lose Sunday,
it's over.
It's going to look scary for them.
It's over. Like, you might as well just wrap it up.
Yeah.
They lose against your Cowboys. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for them. Yeah, Thursday night football, great Thursday night football game. I enjoyed it. I watched it over the basketball game. I know that for sure. The freaking Mavericks versus the San Antonio Spurs. I definitely was excited to watch the NFL game over that one. So, all right, I want to go to let's talk about let's predict the games. Right, let's go to each game for Sunday and also Monday as well. Let's see what we got here. Whoops. Where is it? Go to Pro Football Reference. All right.
First game on the docket. I got the thing pulled up.
Yeah.
1 o'clock, Jets versus Patriots.
I'm going Jets this game. This one, the Jets have been playing really bad football, but
the Jets are favored by -7.5 on the road. I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with that one either. Just for the fact that Drake May is now the quarterback instead of Jacoby Brissett.
Drake May is actually good.
Yeah, he's way better than Jacoby Brissett because he's mobile. His arm talent is a lot better. He's a little young in the tooth, but hey, it doesn't really matter because his talent is going to overcome certain things. I still am going to go with the Jets. It's do or die, a divisional opponent that they washed on Thursday Night Football. I just think the Patriots are just a horrible football team, and there's no way of, like, just figuring out the season. There's no, like, there's not going to be an easy win for them. Like, every game is going to be a struggle for them. So I think this is another game against a divisional opponent where I see them losing.
Yeah.
Even though Aaron Rodgers has been very, very bad, but I just don't see how they lose this game. Like, what does the Patriots do well? Like, yeah, Christian Gonzalez is amazing, but besides that, what do they do well? Seriously, like, what do they do well? Like, poke on outside, he's not good. Demario Douglas, he's like a wide receiver 3, but he's their number 1.
Yeah.
There's not much they do well. I mean, Drake May is trying, but like, there's nothing.
Can't really run the ball.
Well. Yeah. So, moving on. Let's see. We have the Eagles versus the Bengals. This one is very interesting for just many reasons. Two teams that are still trying to figure out a consistent way of winning because, the Eagles, they are over 500, but they haven't played the best. They still haven't played their best football. The Bengals, they're starting to find something, it seems like, but you can't really consistently count on that defense. And the offense, it is electric, it is explosive, but they did get relatively neutralized against the Giants. So the Bengals, there's still some question marks when it comes to consistency wise. Like one week is the defense is going to be really, really good, and the offense is going to be really, really bad. They haven't put it all together where like the defense is really good and the offense is really good. So with that being said, who's at home and who's on the road?
The Bengals are home.
Okay, so I have to look at the stats. I have to look at the stats. Matter of fact, before I do that, I have to look at the injury report. That's the number one and most important. It's the injury report. Let me look at the injury report.
Dallas Goedert is out.
Okay.
T. Higgins is questionable.
Let me look at this.
They got one of their tackles is on IR.
Oh yeah, they're honestly it might. They're either second or first best.
Trent Brown,
yeah. Wait, you talking about Bengals? You talking about
the Bengals?
Bengals, my fault. I was thinking of
Mekhi Becton is out though, but he's not very good.
The Eagles did lose an offensive lineman.
Jordan Mailata?
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
So that's a huge loss for them. So that's gonna give Trey Hendrickson he's supposed to play, but Trey Hendrickson he's gonna eat. He's gonna eat because of that. So I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals this game.
I want to go with the Bengals too. They are favored at 2.5 points, even though they're home. They should get the 3, but I guess they think the Eagles are better. I think this is going to be a shootout, honestly. Everyone get your Kevlar and your barricades. It's going to be a shootout, in my opinion, because, yeah.
Jalen Hurts has it in him. He has it in him to get in the shootout. You think he still has that ability?
He has A.J. Brown, so I'm going to say he does.
Yeah, I mean, he does have A.J. Brown, but he's been very inconsistent this year.
True, but I see a high-scoring game with this one. But, who should I go with?
I like the Bengals this game. They've been playing a lot better these past few weeks. Just defensively alone, they've been playing a lot better. And the Eagles, like, you lose one of your better offensive linemen, that puts a lot more pressure on Jalen Hurts.
That is true. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go Bengals.
Go Bengals as well. Okay, so you're gonna die with the ship with me.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I haven't looked at all the advanced analytics, but just going off of what I've seen these past few weeks from the Bengals, I like the Bengals a little bit better. Green Bay and Jacksonville, go Green Bay. Like, it's not even a question to me. I don't even have to look at the stats.
I'm gonna go Packers.
Going.
Jags they just don't got the juice right now.
So the Falcons and Tampa Bay, this was going to be a better game on paper, but now just for the fact that Chris Godwin and Mike Evans is going to be out, it changes the whole trajectory of this game. I'm going to go with the Falcons. They're healthier. The Buccaneers, they lost their top 2 wide receivers, their Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers, to injury. So now Baker's going to have to really make something out of nothing, and I just don't think he can overcome. And defense is horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. I feel like the Falcons will sweep them, and yeah, that's my pick.
I see where you're coming from, but hear me out. I think this is one of them Falcon games.
Uh-oh. They're going to lose 2 in a row? I feel like last week was that game.
I think the Falcons going to do Falcons things. Give me Tampa Bay.
Wow.
At home. Give me Tampa Bay.
Man. Wow. Okay.
2.5 spread for the Falcons, and after all them injuries on offense for the Buccaneers, something is afoot.
Something's fishy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll go with the Falcons. We can split hairs on that one. All right, Miami Dolphins versus Arizona Cardinals. Tua.
The return of Tua.
It seems like he's questionable, but he was full participant in practice. So it looks like he's going to play.
He's playing.
Which means that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle stock is going up.
Don't forget my dog.
Achane.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Also Raheem Mostert. The whole running game, really. This one, I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. I just think with Tua coming back, I like the Dolphins defense more than the Cardinals defense and offense. I like the Dolphins offense more than I do the Cardinals offense. Give me the Dolphins. They're a better team. I think they're a better coached team. And I think, are they on the road? They're at home.
The
give me the Dolphins this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins because the Cardinals, even though they beat the lowly Chargers last week on that horrible Monday night game, they still haven't really put anything together that you can like say, okay, let's build off of this. Offense was still shaky. You're still not getting your playmakers involved as much as you should be, and Drew Petzing is terrible as a offensive coordinator. And, yeah, I feel like the Dolphins got more going for it. That offense is much better when Tua is behind the helm.
Yep, and I think the sense of urgency, especially because the way that the Bills are playing, like you want to get out there and you got to win some games.
And
you got to
catch up. The Jets still stink, so you can honestly
can get them. You can get them while they're down right now. So and then with the whole thing with Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be very hard for him to really. Well, it's already been very hard because of just the offensive coordinator and his ineptitude. We talked about it before, but now that you have a number one corner, one of the best corners in the NFL, despite how well or bad he's played this year, he's still one of the best corners in the NFL, and you have him matching up against Marvin Harrison Jr., good luck, especially when you don't even scheme him up that much. There's not much there's not much the Cardinals are going to be able to do when you have offense coordinator like that. So
Yep.
Dolphins all day, every day, twice a week. Colts versus Texans. I'm gonna go with the Texans. Like, I know it's a divisional opponent, but I don't trust the
Richardson
Colts.
is horrible. I'm sorry.
There's not much they do well. Like, they're a good running team. Mainly, Jonathan Taylor and you have Anthony Richardson, but outside of that, they're not a good defensive team. I do like some of the defensive players on the D line, like Liatu Latu and DeForest Buckner, but besides that, they don't really do much well. Like they're not good on defense. Their offense, their passing game isn't all that great because of Anthony Richardson. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans.
All right, let's go to the Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
Give me
the
the
Browns, they're cooked food.
They don't do anything well.
Yeah.
They don't do one thing. Like, I keep saying this again. In order for me to pick an upset, you have to do one thing well. What do they do well? They're not a good defensive team. They have good individual pieces. Denzel Ward, I saw that clip on Twitter where he was backpedaling, turned his hips, and intercepted the ball.
That was crazy.
T. Higgins, one of the best plays by a corner this year. And then you have Myles Garrett as well. But besides that, you have good individual pieces, but it doesn't come together into a good defense. I just don't see how this team has a chance of beating the Baltimore Ravens.
Nah, I don't either.
All right, let's go to the New York. Oh, we already talked about that one. Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. This one is interesting. Seattle, they just came last week. They had a dominating performance against the Atlanta Falcons on the road. You get an Byron Murphy back on the defensive line, which was a huge addition to the team. He's back. It seemed like they were able to just prevent the Falcons from really getting their run game going a whole lot. Going against the Buffalo Bills that added
DK, by the way.
Oh, no DK?
Nope.
The Buffalo Bills, they have Amari Cooper, so that passing game looks a whole lot better. I think I'm gonna go with the same pick. I'm gonna go with the Bills this game. The addition of Amari Cooper has really elevated this passing attack. Like, you look at Keon Coleman, he's getting like looks like from busted coverages now. Like, he doesn't have to work so much to. Yeah. I like this Bills team. I think James Cook is coming back.
Yeah,
I like this
so.
Bill. I like this.
I'm gonna go Bills.
Yeah, no DK Metcalf is going to be hard for them to like really generate an offense unless if they can establish the run.
Yeah.
Then you could say, all right, they can win this game. But I just think with the Bills,
it's not like JSN is a sloucher.
Oh, hell no, hell no.
Those are good guys. Like a lot of teams would be happy to have them dudes, but DK just opens up the offense a lot more.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen, it seems like he's gonna play. But yeah, like you said, DK is doubtful for this game.
They can't stop the run. They cooked.
Yeah. I think the Bills are going to try to establish the run this game with James Cook, and they also have the other running back who's really good for them, Ray Davis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do.
They got weapons. They got that offense has got weapons now. You got Dalton Kincaid, James Cook. Now you got Amari Cooper.
And Josh Allen's taking care of the football. He hasn't thrown an interception this year. That is
true.
So as long as you take care of the football and
surprise. The turnover leader for the past few years hasn't thrown a single pick this year.
You know what's funny is that now the turnover leader is Patrick Mahomes. It used to be, the debates between Josh Allen and like Mahomes, the Mahomes fans, Josh Allen fans. Mahomes fans be like, your guy, I'll be throwing all those picks. Well, look now, who's throwing all the picks? It's funny how things sort of turn around. All right. We have the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
This game should be shown on Tubi.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers this game. I look at the Saints and first of all, Derek Carr is not gonna play, so they're on the road. Chargers defense is really good. We saw on that Thursday night game with Spencer Rattler and that Broncos defense and how that turned out. Spencer Rattler was a disaster.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Chargers this game.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers too. Freaking no Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler's still a rookie. Alvin Kamara saying he's been playing with busted ribs and a broken hand. Like, it's just all bad. Give me the Chargers.
You know, I mentioned this last week how awful the Chargers offense is, even with Justin Herbert at the helm. I still think they do some things well. Like, they play good defense and they can run the ball. So, and then you have Justin Herbert who can manage the game.
Yeah.
So, as long as they do that, they should win this game going away. Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders. Now, I was very excited for this game, but learning what's going on with Jaden Daniels, he's questionable, but I don't see them putting him out there in harm's way when next week you have a division rival, the New York Giants. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be out this game. I have the Bears this game. They're going to be on the road, but just for the fact that Jaden Daniels is going to be out, I don't see how the Commanders win this game with Marcus Mariota as the quarterback.
Yeah, the Bears are a very stout defense, and they got a couple, like Jaquan Brisker isn't playing, Kyler Gordon isn't playing, but they still have their, like, main guys for the most part, and Caleb Williams been playing much better football, and the Commanders did lose Jonathan Allen. He's on IR, so
Yeah.
that's not going. You need that pressure up the middle, and you're not going to really have it without him. I'm going to go with the Bears.
Yeah. All right, next game on the docket, we have a divisional game versus the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. This game, I need to look at the stats because I feel like this is a trap game almost. Let me see. Let me look at the advanced stats because that'll tell me something. So obviously Max Crosby, he's like top 8 in pass rush win rate. He's dominant, but I gotta look at the Raiders as a unit. Let's see what we got. Pass rush win rate.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna just get I'm picking the Chiefs. At the end of the day, one team has Pat Mahomes, one team has, I don't even know who's starting their QB at this point for them. And Steve Spagnuolo is not about to lay down to who's their wide receiver. Jacoby Myers probably ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Tucker? Is it Tucker?
Shit.
They gonna let Brock Bowers. I'm pretty sure Spag gonna have a plan to minimize Brock Bowers. And just give me the Chiefs. I'm sorry, I can't.
The Raiders
even try to pretend like this is gonna be an upset.
The Raiders are top 5 in pass rush win rate and number 7 in run stop win rate.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Even with the whole Christian Wilkins is out, I don't know.
That's interesting.
This might be a trap game. I mean, Aiden O'Connell is the QB, so they lost last year with I don't know who was the quarterback. Was it Aiden O'Connell too? Regardless, are they in Kansas City?
No, they're in Vegas.
Man,
Vegas don't got no home crowd advantage anyway.
This is tough. This feels like a trap game to me. This feels like one of them games where the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm going off logic.
The real trap game is that Falcons and Buccaneers game. I'm telling you.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm looking at the advanced stats, but like, I know it says they're 5-7, but like, besides Max Crosby, who is a difference maker on that defensive line? Are those numbers just because Max Crosby is that great? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs this game. I'm gonna just go off my better judgment. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Just take the logic. All right.
Panthers, Broncos. Oh, brother.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos this game.
The Broncos.
The Panthers are gonna be without Adam Thielen and Deontay Johnson. Simple as that. Bryce Young, I think he's expected to start.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have much help on the outside with his receivers, and he wasn't playing all that well when they were playing. So give me the Broncos because they have a great defense, and Bo Nix, all he has to do is manage the game, and they'll win.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here.
The Monday night game, is that it?
Is that it? Really? Let me check. All right. No, there's more. There's more.
Titans and Lions. We forgot about
Titans.
that.
Give me the Lions.
Yeah,
Not even a question. Give me. All right. So then we have the the Sunday night, the 8:00 game, the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, brother.
Hey, yo, this one.
This might be a trap.
You know what? Hey, I was thinking the same thing. Y'all coming off of a bye.
And everyone and their mom is picking the 49ers to win. I mean, for good reason, too. They beat us like the last 5 matchups, I think.
49ers, who did they lost to the
Jawan
Chiefs.
Jennings is out. Kittle is questionable.
They lost to the Chiefs.
Lenore is questionable.
No Debo, no Brandon Ayuk. Ufanga, I think he's out for the remainder of the season or for a very long time. And Jordan Mason, he hasn't been all that consistent in the run game. Brock Purdy has been struggling. You know what? But the thing is, Dak, he hasn't been all that great either. Like,
Nope.
he's 25th, I think, in passer rating. He hasn't been all that great. And CeeDee Lamb has been kind of inconsistent. He's been going back and forth with Dak. No running game for the Cowboys. Defense has been, But y'all coming off of a bye. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
You a better man than me. I'm taking the 49ers. The Cowboys got to show me that they can beat this team. I don't believe they can.
You know what? I might have to take that back. Because what do the Cowboys do well? That's my question. What do they do well? Because their passing, their offense has been just mediocre at best. They have to do one thing well for me. I'm going to go, all right.
Now, I will say some coaches may be coaching for their job. I don't care what Jerry Jones says about not firing. He got on that radio show and said Mike McCarthy is drawing up bad plays and concepts.
Yo, this is...
I'm going to go with the history. History says 49ers own the Cowboys, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys won, though.
You know what? I might regret this. I'm gonna stick with the Cowboys. Coming off of a bye, do or die.
They are on the road, though.
Wait, Cowboys on the road?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. If they were at home, I would be like, all right.
I mean, shoot, they play better on the road this year. At home, they be getting cooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Yeah,
They're at home.
49ers, yeah.
I know they deal with injuries, but shit, they at home. All right, Monday night game. New York Giants versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers. Russell Wilson looked like a top 10 QB last week. I don't know if he's going to replicate that, but against this Giants team without Andrew Thomas, they're just abysmal. They're atrocious.
Yeah.
Give me the Steelers.
Steelers still got a really good defense. Daniel Jones, it might look like Daniel Jones this game because, yeah.
Yep. That'll do it for our picks for the game. So, transitioning, before we get to NBA, for our watch list. Here we go. So, I was going back and forth with this. I was like, should I do it this week? Because I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do these players. But then, as I did more research, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to pick these players. So, the fraud watch list, if you don't know, here is the criteria. It's players that coming into the season had expectations of being good, and they're not living up to the bill so far. These are the 3 players that are on the fraud watch list for week 8 of the NFL season. Number 1, this is going to shock you because you had this individual on your salute segment. Kirk Cousins. So listen, Kirk Cousins, you had an amazing Thursday night football game. Absolutely amazing. 4 touchdown passes, only 1 interception, 500 yards passing. But besides that game, he's been mid. He is just let me look at the stats real quick. He's been very mediocre when it comes to just passing stats. He is ranked, I'm looking, 18th in passer rating. QBR, he is 14th. He's supposed to be better than this. 10 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
Especially with that offensive personnel.
He's supposed to be a lot better than this. His stats haven't been all that great. He comes into the season and he loses to the Steelers. He doesn't play all that well. He's only had one great game, and that was against the Buccaneers. Against the Panthers, he was okay. It was more of him managing the game. The running game was getting it going. But for the most part, he's been very mediocre. 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, middle of the pack when it comes to QBR and passer rating. I'm not all that pressed. We were expecting you to be at least a top 10 QB, and we were expecting the Atlanta Falcons offense to be a lot better, a lot more dynamic, and it hasn't really been that way. Last week against Seattle, they just laid an egg.
Yeah.
14 points at home? I'm expecting more for this team, and it comes down to you, and for you to not be living up to your contract, to the expectations, you're on the fraud watch list. I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. Number 2 on my list, I'm going to go with your boy, Devon Achane. He has been very mid as well. Coming into the season, we expected big things for this running back. In the few games he played last year, he was explosive. He put up 50 fantasy points in one game. I had him on my team. I dropped him before he started. He started to get the keys to the car, and all of a sudden he just goes crazy, gets injured. But we expected big things from him, and so far, from a reality standpoint, he hasn't been consistent. He hasn't gotten 100 yards. He's gotten
close.
He's gotten close one time. I think it is.
He had 96 yards.
And then all-purpose yards, he not really all that much. So Devon Achane, with Tua coming back, I expect you to play a lot better. You're in a Mike McDaniel, San Francisco type of offense where the running back is supposed to get just godly numbers, and you haven't done that. I expect more from you. We expect more from you, and you're on the fraud watch list.
I definitely expect more from.
I bet you do.
Being a fantasy owner,
and he's been relatively healthy this season. Yeah. Last season he got hurt after I think maybe 3 games playing. He's been healthy, and he just hasn't produced so far. So you're on the fraud watch list. My last one is sad to say because I went I campaigned for this man a year and a half ago. But he hasn't been living up to the bill. Calvin Ridley, a lot of people thought that, hey, Jaguars, that offense, really limiting him, Press Taylor, Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson. We see what's going on with them right now. And we're like, all right, if he goes to a different situation and he has a different offensive-minded coach that can scheme him open a lot better, that he'll finally go back to his, to the form that we thought he was going to be when he went to Jacksonville originally and back in his Falcons days. Well, that hasn't happened with the Tennessee Titans. Now, part of that is because, the offensive, the quarterback isn't all that good, and they just can't get any sort of passing game going. But at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers, and he hasn't been good. He's had one good game this season. I think he had maybe 100 yards and a touchdown. Besides that, he's been god-awful. He has been non-existent as the number 1 receiver. You're on the fraud watch list, brother. You're getting close to being washed. I think he's 30, or he's either 29 or 30. It's getting to the point where we're looking at you and we're like, maybe your days are kind of numbered now. Like you looking like you kind of fleeced the Tennessee Titans with that contract.
He is 29 years old.
It's looking like he's fleeced the Tennessee Titans because what they paid him and what he's doing on the football field is just not correlating. Like you're looking at it like you're getting paid all this money, but you're putting up like wide receiver 3 numbers. So you're on the fraud watch list, Calvin Ridley. I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. In 2024, you haven't been looking good. In 2023, you were very mid. So that's just how it is for you, man. At least you got your money, but you're on the fraud watch list. And that'll do it for week 8 of my fraud watch list. And we'll do it again next week. All right. Let's go to the NBA. I'm excited about this one.
I bet you are.
What a great Friday night. I had a great Friday night, Matter of fact, I had a great week, honestly. Tuesday rolls around, NBA season starts. Besides the Celtics game, I just 66 threes. That's just ridiculous. That's not basketball to me. That's like shoot around, in my opinion. But regardless, a lot of things happened in NBA this past, from Tuesday all the way to Friday. I got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. So I mentioned that the Lakers, we have to be patient. It's going to take some time. This offense is going to take some time. I did say before the season started, just some of the clips that I saw, I was very impressed. A lot of motion, a lot of ball movement, a lot of cutting. It seems like the offense is not solely reliant on LeBron and Anthony Davis to create everything. Then the regular season rolls around. They face 2 of the better Western Conference teams that had the Lakers number the previous season. And what did the Lakers do? The Lakers and their offense was absolutely tremendous. They were resilient. They didn't just resort to iso ball. They kept sticking to the game plan. And that was something that they didn't do last season, and why there was so many games where they just lost because down the stretch, they just didn't have that mental toughness. They didn't trust whatever the coach was telling them to do. Well, it seems like so far, these two games, they're 2-0 right now. JJ Redick has been coaching his ass off. I have to give JJ Redick all the credit in the world. I didn't see this happen. I knew the offense was going to be good, but the fact that this team just from just Roy Hashimura to Austin Reeves to even Jackson Hayes, a lot of these dudes, it just seems like they're a lot smarter. Last year, Roy Hashimura specifically, his basketball IQ wasn't questioned. I was looking at it, and I'm like, dog, why do you look so lost on the court? He just never felt like he was in sync. And then all of a sudden, Darvin Ham's out the door. We bring in JJ Redick, and Roy Hashimura, his basketball IQ, it looks like it's up there. He's making so many smarter decisions. It seems like the game has slowed down for him. He's not making the same dumb mistakes on defense and offense. Whenever there's a double team, he knows he does the right read. Like he understands, okay, if there's a double, if I'm in the post and they're doubling me, I'm going to dish it off to this guy. We'll be open. It seems like there's a plan. There seems like there's not any second guessing with this team. And I love it. I was completely shocked at how efficient this offense has been, from just the designs of certain plays, defensively as well. They don't have the best talent in the world, but they're disciplined. They know where they need to be. There's communication, which was lacking last season. Like, we had to sub out Roy Hashimura at times. We had to sub out Austin Reeves at times. But Austin Reeves, he understands where he needs to be defensively, and he understands, like, certain passing angles, passing lanes that a Bradley Beal was going to try to pass to, and he stole the ball, or a Devin Booker or a Kevin Durant. These guys are playing a lot smarter, and that's what you need in order to win a champ. You need your guys to be very smart basketball players, and last year we just did not have that, and that just lets me know that how important coaching is, because this is all coaching. What you saw last season versus this season is the reason why coaching is so important, because these players are playing a lot smarter. What is your thoughts on just the Lakers? I know you're just teething. You're like, oh, I hate it. But give me an honest, objective viewpoint from what if you've seen anything, or what you heard so far from the Lakers.
So I haven't watched like the full game, but I did catch a lot of both of the games. Mostly the Suns last night, because I was like, oh, that's going to be a close game too. The offense does look much different. I see a lot more movement, a lot more cutting off ball stuff, and a lot of dudes are getting involved. Like you said, it's not on the back solely of LeBron. AD is he's looking really good out there, and yeah, man, I kind of expected I said the offense was going to be. I didn't expect it to be this much of a significant improvement this early in the season. But yeah, man, the Lakers, y'all looking nice so far. We'll see how over time, new system, coach teams will start to see more things on film and come up with counters and stuff. Mm-hmm. But y'all played 2 quality opponents, 2 playoff teams, and y'all look pretty good. Y'all was down pretty big,
22.
Yeah, down 22 in that Suns game, but y'all came back and won. Like I saw, I had to step away from the TV, and I came back. I said, "How was it a tie game?" It was like 48-26 or something like that. Then I came back. It was like 67-60. I said, "What the heck just happened?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, yeah, man." I was like, it's a lot of dudes getting involved. So yeah, man. We'll see how this develops over the season.
Yeah.
So far y'all looking good.
You know what's funny?
Y'all got to get rid of D'Lo. He's horrible.
Oh yeah, he's bad. Bro, like his body language on the court is horrible. So
it ain't his fault. He missing shots.
So there was a play, right, where it was during the fourth quarter. Jackson Hayes threw him the ball. He was in the wing, the 3-point line in the wing. So he had a wide open shot, and when he got the ball, he just threw it back to Jackson Hayes. And Jackson Hayes was confused, like, why would you throw it back to me? Like, I'm not a 3-point shooter. And he threw it back to him, and D'Lo, he decided, you know what, F it. I'll just nonchalantly, all right, I'll take the shot. He made it, but and then timeout goes, and then I look at Jackson Hayes. He's all hyped, but then at the same time, he's like, dude, shoot the ball. And that it just feels like D'Lo is. He's not a part of the team. Like, he just doesn't feel like he's really a part of the team.
To me, D'Lo thinks he's better than what he actually is. And then that kind of gets in the way. He starts to feel away when he's not as, I guess, involved or whatever.
Yeah, it feels like he's still salty about not getting paid the money he feels like he's due. But you have to be more consistent, and you have to, your body language and how you are as a teammate is important. And when you're not doing a lot of the little things, when you're only good when you're scoring the ball, then you're not going to get the money that you want. And that's what's really just disappointing about him, is the fact that he has all this talent, and if he really locks in, he could be really serviceable for the team, but he just doesn't want to do it.
You got to buy into the system.
And he's not, and I don't feel like he's really buying in. He just feels like the odd man out. He feels like he's just a rental right now until we find a trade that we like that can put us over the top. It's unfortunate because he could really make a difference for this team. Like, imagine if he really locked in defensively and offensively, and he became a really, really good starting point guard for us. It's going to put us over the top. We don't have to make a significant trade. Maybe like a little trade here and there, a big or somebody, a wing defender. But for the most part, if he would take it upon himself to play defense and to be efficient on offense, dog, we would be in contention. But for him to just pout and not really feel engaged as much, it's just a bad look. Here's what I'll say though. On a positive note,
I do have a mid-season trade target for y'all.
Really? Who
against a team y'all are actually very familiar trading with?
The Wizards.
Joe Val.
Joe Val.
Valanciunas.
Oh, Jonas Valanciunas. from a defensive standpoint, we need somebody like Jackson Hayes has been playing a lot better.
Yes.
I will say that, but I don't know if he's enough when you're going up against like the really, really great teams, the Bostons, the OKCs. You know what I mean? Like those teams right there. Like you need a really good big that can defend the paint and that could even stretch the floor at times. I just don't see Jackson Hayes. Like, yeah, against the Suns, their bigs aren't all that good, but I just don't see Jackson Hayes really filling that void for us. So we need somebody that can protect the paint. I don't see Jones. He's a good offensive player, don't get me wrong, but like we need somebody that can like really defend the paint. But who is there? Who is out there to do that? That's the question. And I don't know. I don't know that answer right now. But maybe later on we can find that. But right now, it's not really out there. But just a little bit more about the Lakers, and then we'll transition a little bit. But here's my thing with the Lakers is what I notice about their system is that even when, let's say, the play doesn't work initially, they have a counter to whatever they're running. So you know how you ever play 2K and like there'll be like these plays and there's like counters in the playbook. So like let's say the first option isn't available, whether there's another, I think there's like another variation of the play where it'll there's like two options per se. Like let's say it's like a dribble handoff and that doesn't work. Well, then there's somebody else that's coming around like full sprint to the corner or something. It's like an open three or something. That's how the offense is. It's like there's different, like there's a counter to the play that they're running, and I love it. That's just the play designs are designed to like really attack the defense from different levels, and that's what makes this team so dangerous now, is that it's not as predictable as years past where you run this play and if it doesn't work, we're just going to go to ISO ball. Well, now when, okay, one part of the play doesn't work, all right, we can, there's another part of the play that we can go to. And I just saw it so many times just last night where the Phoenix Suns, they do a good job guarding the initial part of the play, but then, all right, here's a counter to it. And they just can continuously trust the game plan. On the Suns side of things, here's my concern with the Suns, and this has been a theme for Budenholzer coach teams. The first half, the Suns did a great job of ball movement, of swing pass, of getting into the paint. They were really attacking the guards and the wing defenders of the Lakers. But when things aren't going their way, when they're not hitting their shots, when they're not doing whatever they did in the first half, they resort to ISO ball. They resort to bad habits. And that's what I noticed with the Phoenix Suns, and that's the reason why the Lakers won. It wasn't necessarily that the Lakers played just great deep. They did. They were disciplined. But if the Suns would have stood to their initial game plan, which is ball movement, just trusting each other, not resorting to ISO ball, getting guys open off of a screen, they would have won the game going away, but they went away from what got them to go up 22 points. And that's going to be something you have to watch with the Suns. Second half of games. How do they adjust?
It was a problem when Budenholzer was in Milwaukee too. Big in-game adjustments, he wasn't good.
Devin Booker was killing us. Second half rolls around, he started to not shoot a whole much. Kevin Durant, he was unstoppable that first half. Second, he had 30 points in the game, but a lot of his points were first half, or the Lakers came back and then he still scored some points. Just keep a watch. Bradley Beal as well. Bradley Beal, that first half, I'm like, damn, Bradley Beal, he's back to where he was. Second half roll around, where's Bradley Beal?
He turned into Bradley Steele.
And then what confused me is that this rookie out of Virginia named, I think, Ryan Dunn, he was shooting the lights out of the ball the first half. And the second half, I'm wondering, where is he at? Are they not playing him? So that was another thing that confused me. I don't think they played him much that second half, but he was playing really well for them. The Suns, there's still a lot of question marks about that team. They nearly lost to a Clippers team without Kawhi Leonard, and we already know the Clippers. They're sort of in disarray right now. And then they lost to us. They blew a 22-point lead when they were taking advantage of a lot of our deficiencies. They just went away from it. I want to another team I want to talk about is the New York Knicks. Tuesday night, first game of the season. The worst team you could ever face when you're trying to build chemistry is the defending champions. On the road in Boston. The Boston Celtics nearly broke a record for the most threes in one game. They nearly broke a record for the most threes in a half. I think they had 17. They finished with either 28 or 29 threes made. It was bad. It was by far the worst case scenario for the Knicks on Tuesday night. They just couldn't get anything going. Mikal Bridges was awful. He changed his shot. It was just ugly.
Then all of a sudden he just changed it back to what it used to be.
Yeah, but the game was out of hand by then. So I guess he decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just go back to what I'm comfortable with. So then last night they played the Indiana Pacers, and they just dominant from start to finish. It was not even close.
And Mr. Snowman Halliburton
0 for 7.
0 for 8.
0 for 8. Didn't score a bucket in 25 minutes. They were just dominant. And this is the Knicks team that I was like, yo, they can compete for a championship. The Indiana Pacers couldn't do anything against them. At one point, beginning of the game, they were, it was a back and forth. But the Knicks, for whatever reason, they were able to really just get it going offensively and defensively. Karl-Anthony Towns started hitting shots. It was just a perfect game for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson.
Very efficient day for the Knicks. Everyone shot in the starting lineup shot about 50% or above, besides Cat, who was just 5 of 11, slightly under 50%. So it was shooting the lights out.
Yeah, and Mikal, he
and playing great defense on the other end.
Mikal, he just looked from all facets of the game, mid-range, 3-point, layups. He was just dominating in all facets of the game, and that's why you trade 5 first-round picks. That's why you get a Mikal Bridges, because you expect that from him. He was hitting just some amazing shots, very difficult shots, and they were going in because he has really improved his game so much to a point where now you can call his number on certain plays. Yeah. Now you can rely on him on certain plays.
And also, that team-wide perimeter defense is coming in hand. I know the Celtics gave him crazy work that one game, but this game, the Pacers shot 10% from 3 for 30.
Yeah, it was bad. They were up at 30 at one point.
Yeah,
they were dominant. And listen, I know they're trying to figure out the chemistry, but Tom Thibodeau, when you're up 30 in the fourth quarter, you don't have to play your starters. You can sub them out, get them fresh for the next game. It's okay. I know they're trying to build chemistry, but when you're up 30, that's pretty good chemistry if you're up 30 against a team that was in the Western Conference Finals last year. I said Western Conference. Eastern Conference Finals last year. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And they just, for whatever reason, he just kept them out there. But yeah, Mikal Bridges 8 for 12 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. OG Anunoby 6 for 12 from the field. Karl-Anthony Towns, 21 points, 5 for 11 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3-point range. Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 10 for 19 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Josh Hart, 20 points, 8 for 15 from the field, 10 rebounds. You can't. Cameron Payne. Wait, no. 7 points. That's not bad for the bench player. McBride, 8 points. 2 for 2 from 3, 3 for 4 from the field. So, man, they're starters. They did their thing. The 2 players they need off the bench did their thing. And that's what you need in order to win. You need 7 dudes, 7 guys that can come in and be consistent for you, and you're going to win most of the time. And the Indiana Pacers, they had no way of countering it. They were pretty much awful the entire game.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a few teams I want to bring up.
Yeah, go right ahead.
One is this team just refuses to die.
Who?
The Warriors.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And I know they play the Jazz, who aren't good, and they played the first game they played. I can't remember who they played. They played.
It was the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Trailblazers. Both teams are lottery teams, but
Still impressive.
yeah,
140.
yeah. They just refuse to die. They just refuse it. Steph Curry. As long as you got Steph, you got a chance. And they dudes are stepping up. Buddy Hield had like 27 off the bench last game. He was going crazy. It's just the Warriors. You can't kill him. You can't kill him.
It is early in the year though.
It is. It's very. It was one time they started off very good early, and then overtime they were like, But it is what it is. Another team I wanted to bring up. Well, mostly like a player. They tried to count him out. They rid off Trae Young.
Trae Young.
He ain't writing back right now. He's starting off the season red hot. Had 38 against the Hornets last night, and he had a really solid game against the Nets the first game of the season. So yeah, it's Trae Young, man, getting it done. They said, oh man, he's cooked food now. Shoot, he averaging 30 right as 2 games in. So gotta get sued. Oh, LaMelo Ball's been hooping too.
Oh yeah, LaMelo, he was doing his thing last night. He hit 9 threes.
Yeah.
Dude as long as he stays healthy, he's gonna be an all-star yet again. He just needs to stay healthy, and the dude can hoop. He's a baller, literally. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I wanna let me think. Who was the other? Oh, the Bucks. Your Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Brother.
I was not sold on this team coming into the season, and they lost to Chicago. I know it's early in the season, but losing to Chicago Bulls.
I mean, when you let Kobe White score 35 and let Giddey score 17 and make two for 2 on his 3-point attempts, I mean,
what did I tell you? What did I tell you about this team, man? What did I tell you? Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham on the same coaching staff is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
You don't have those two dudes that are pretty much lacking in any sort of adjustment at all to just put on the same coaching staff. That's like Sell and Frieza working together. Like two very horrible guys on the same coaching staff with your best player in Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. What do you expect is going to happen? Oh, you think it's going to be just perfect? Like I saw Shaq and he said that, I have Milwaukee Bucks as the favorites in the Eastern Conference. And I wanted to reach across that screen and smack him in the face one time because he has to be smoking crack. And how dare you say that Charles Barkley is smoking crack because he thinks the New York Knicks is better than the Milwaukee Bucks.
They are better.
I don't know what
no team that employs Doc Rivers should be the favorite of anything besides losing in the second round.
I don't know what he thinks this Bucks team is, but he needs to smell the roses because this is not 2021 anymore. This team is, I'm not going to say horrible, but coaching-wise is very bad. You have Darvin Ham as an assistant coach after what we saw with the Lakers.
Salute.
I get it. He was with Milwaukee in the past when they won the championship. But, dog, even with Milwaukee, a lot of things had to happen for them to win the championship. Like the Brooklyn Nets, they had to be depleted. There wasn't much of an obstacle for them to really overcome besides the Phoenix Suns.
That's a pretty big obstacle that year.
What you mean?
The Suns were very good.
They were good, but we got to remember they did get very fortunate as well with the Clippers, because that Clippers team. I know it's a what if. We always do this with the Clippers. It's like a what, but they did get very fortunate that playoff run. They did get very fortunate as well. But that's how the NBA is. The team that's the healthiest is usually the team that goes to the finals. I get it. I understand. But boy, them two teams, they were very fortunate because those aren't the teams that people thought was going to go to the finals initially. So. The Milwaukee Bucks, a ring is a ring, but Darvin Ham, man, him and Doc Rivers on the same coaching staff, it's just not going to work. Like, you're going to see games like this where, you beat a 76ers team that's depleted, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, and then the next night you play the Chicago Bulls and you lose to them, and they're not all that good. So that's just what it is. That's what's going to be this team from now on. It's going to be one night they play great, the other night they lose to a team they should have won. That's just how it is with a Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham coach team. And let's see, the Mavericks. Klay Thompson, he played well in his debut. He had, I think 22 points. He shot the ball pretty well. They dominated the San Antonio Spurs. No surprise there. San Antonio Spurs are not all that good. I'm still not all that sold with the Mavericks. I just think defensively, they don't have the wing defenders. They don't have the guard defenders to really make it difficult for OKC. And I think if the Lakers can continue to play this way, I like the Lakers' chances if they continue to play this way. Now, it's the first 2 games of the season. Don't want to get over, try to start projecting certain things. But if they continue to play this way, then I like the Lakers' chances. Because a lot of times with the Lakers against the Mavericks as well, it came down to situationally certain parts of the game that they just weren't able to execute. And if they continue to play this way, I like their chance against the Mavericks.
You know what team chances I don't like as of right now? Yes.
Yeah.
They look bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you let go your shooters and you don't want to re-sign guys. You don't want to pay your guys. You only want to pay your main 2, even though they're good. But Jamal Murray, he's good, but he hasn't really gotten better.
No, he's not good right now. He looks like a shell of himself. There was I don't know if you saw the thing that I sent to group chat, but an anonymous, I think it was a GM or executive.
It was a starter in the NBA.
The person
he
said
he's easy to guard or something.
He's easy to guard now. Mm-hmm. After that injury last season, he hasn't been the same. In the Lakers series, the reason the Lakers didn't beat the Nuggets wasn't that we didn't have the talent. It's that the Nuggets just outsmarted us because they had the better coaching. Jamal Murray didn't play good that series. And
he had that one game winner.
Yeah, he had that one game. Yeah, he had that one game. But he didn't really play that well that game.
I said the game winner.
I know, the game winner, which is crazy. He didn't play well that game, but he had that game winner. Yo, the Nuggets, they took advantage of their window. Congratulations to them. They got the championship, but yeah, it's kind of looking like the Nuggets back when Nikola Jokic won those 2 MVPs, where he had to overcome so much in order for them to be a top 6 seed. This is what it's looking like right now because you paid Aaron Gordon all that money. Michael Porter Jr., he hasn't taken that step yet. He's a nice player, but you need him to do more in order to really get into that contender threshold. Jamal Murray, he's just not what he once was. The Nuggets, I'm all for their downfall. I'm all for it.
And you got Russell Westbrook going 2 for 10.
And the funny thing is that this one girl, I forget her name.
I know her name.
Yo, you do? What's her name?
Liv.
Yeah, she was like, man, Russell Westbrook is going to bring so much. He hasn't played with a player like Nikola Jokic. Okay. Played with LeBron. He's played with KD. He's played with Harden. He's played with some of the greatest players in NBA history. And you want to say, oh, he hasn't played with a player like Nikola Jokic. Baloney. And he still looks like the same old Russell Westbrook from the Lakers and the Clippers. Us Laker fans, Clippers fans, warned y'all that he was going to do the same crap as he's always done. He is who he is. He is not OKC Russ anymore. He's not Houston Russ anymore. And even if
he's not even Wizards Russ anymore.
No, bro. He is not good. He does the same old nonsense, but they'll try to say, "Well, he's gonna hold people accountable. Well, he's gonna." The
coach should hold people accountable. What the heck? We need Russ to hold people accountable for.
You know how a player is cooked when they don't even mention his game; they just mention all the other stuff.
The leadership.
He's gonna bring a
veteran experience,
veteran leadership. Oh, he's gonna hold people accountable. Like when the Nuggets are.
Like this is a championship team. Russ had never won a ring.
These guys have won a ring. Mike Malone has won a ring. They know what it's take. What do you mean hold people accountable? No, he's gonna make it worse. Just like the Lakers, they won a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Frank Vogel got fired. They brought in Darvin Ham, and they traded his ass, and they got better because of it. Delusional. And then Stephen A. Smith wants to keep campaigning for Russell Westbrook. Like, he was like, I like the move that Denver acquired Russell Westbrook. Why? You did this with the Clippers. You were like, I like Russ on the Clippers compared to the Lakers, and now you're doing it again with the Nuggets. See, you see how the media, they like to pick and choose who they like, regardless of what they've been doing in the league, and try to paint this narrative like, oh, well, him on this team, he'll be really good. But, the previous team he was on, they weren't using him correctly. He was scapegoated. You see how they try to paint like a picture on like a certain player on a certain team, like, oh, they were bad for him. If he goes to a championship culture, he's going to be good. They're quiet now. They don't want to address it now. They don't want to say it that, oh, we were wrong about what we said. They always want to try to continue this narrative, this agenda of, well, this organization is dysfunctional.
Here's my thing about that, though. Like, and I agree with you, but the way people want to absolve players from bad play, the scheme was bad. This isn't football. Like, we all know football schemes really matter, and like some players will just not be utilized to their best potential. But in basketball, he's missing shots.
Bro, he's airballing layups and corner threes.
He's missing shots. He's out of position. He's making boneheaded mistakes. That's not on the scheme.
No, and even in the free throw line, right? You know how like you're the team that has more players on the free throw line when, the guy's shooting a shot, the opposing team's shooting a shot. He is literally like, it seems like he's lagging. Like he just, I don't know, he's daydreaming and he forgets like, oh yeah, I'm in the game. And a guy, the opposing team that's not supposed to get the rebound gets the rebound. And he does this all the time. And for Stephen A. and for all these other people to keep campaigning for Russ, oh, he just needs to get on a better team. Oh, he just needs a better opportunity. No, he is not a winning player. We have to stop this. He's been in the league for more than 14 years in the league, I think he is. 14 seasons.
He got drafted in what, 09?
09. Yeah. No. Before that, 08, because KD came in 7. He came in 08. Okay. He's been in the league for a long time.
Like almost 16 years.
Bro, we have to stop this. He's not a winning player. Just because, yes, his work ethic is one of the best in the league. Yes, he shows up for work. Yes, he
brings energy.
He brings energy and excitement. He doesn't try to cheat the fans. He plays his style all the time. Yes, absolutely. But that's individually. As an individual player, he's one of the best we've ever seen. But as a team player, what has he shown where we're like, yo, this guy you can win a championship with? He hasn't shown it. So all of these people trying to defend him, it's enough. He's 34, 35 years old. He's an old man now. Stop it.
The prime Russ, we knew he was the system in OKC. Now that he's no longer that guy, he hasn't really had to learn how to play in a team system, team-like setting.
He can't do it. It's okay.
It's like Melo.
But I think
Melo, he played better.
I think he's a little bit better. He can fit more because with Portland, I thought he fit well with Portland. It's just Portland just didn't have the defensive players to really challenge any teams like against the Lakers in 2020. Like their offense was actually amazing. It's just defensively they weren't all that good. And Melo's defense, he can't defend the same way. But regardless, Melo had a skill set that can actually fit. Yeah. Russ. Dude.
What I'm saying, like in terms of like,
I get what you're saying though.
Melo was the system in New York, and all
it took time for him to adjust.
Exactly.
But Rusty's not adjusting because they go off of like that playoff game with the Clippers. They're like, see when he's the number one option, number two option. See what he's doing, dog. He's not going to be the number one or number two because if he's the number one or number two, what happens?
You're picking in the lottery.
You lose in 5 to a team in the playoffs. That's what happens, which they did against the Phoenix. Matter of fact, they got swept. You get swept. That's what Russ is. Y'all got to stop this, man. Y'all got to stop this because he's 35 years old now. We got to stop having pity for a player that's been in the league for so long and he's fallen off. Like he's not the same player that he once was, and he was never a winning player regardless. Just because, oh my God, he carried this team to the playoffs doesn't mean he's a winning player. A winning player is, hey, I can adapt to any culture and we can win games. Like I would say a guy like a Klay Thompson is a winning player. You can put him in any culture, any winning team, and he'll adapt. He'll be one of those guys you can win with. You can start him. He'll do all the little work. Alex Caruso. I even bring a role player. You can put him in any situation. He is going to do things that will help you win the game. What does Russ do that helps you win the game in 2024? Nothing. And I feel like I'm just kicking the man while he's down because I think everybody understands that except
you'd be surprised.
Except his stands and the media. Those are only people that are still trying to come to his defense. But for the most part, a lot of people feel the same way I do. So I don't want to kick the guy while he's down too much because I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
Yeah, he was a good dude. He does a lot for the LA community. Mm-hmm. He's a good guy.
Stand-up individual.
But
on the court, he ain't got it no more, and that's okay.
If I saw him in person, I would ask for a picture. Like I don't have any animosity for him, but when he was on the Lakers, I just couldn't stand him. I can differentiate two things. I just couldn't stand him when he was on the Lakers. I wanted him gone. Let me see. Is there any other stories that I'm missing from the NBA so
Chet
far?
Holmgren had a really good game.
Oh yeah, OKC. Okay, so this will be the final thing because I feel like everything else we don't really need to discuss too much until like next week. I mean, obviously Boston.
Still super early.
We already know Boston's a great team. We already know that, but the OKC Thunder. I told you this before the season started. This is a popular opinion. Yeah. But like, I have them as a favorite. I think that they have all the pieces that you want in order to compete for a championship. They're young, but they're talented. They're the most talented team, in my opinion, in the Western Conference right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just getting better and better. The game just seems so easy for them. Against the Nuggets, nobody on the Nuggets could guard him. He was just doing whatever he wanted. It was food to him. I like this OKC team. Chet Holmgren was amazing. He was outstanding that game. And if they can get more consistent play from Jalen Williams, dog, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's really a wrap. What was your thought? I don't know if you saw the game.
I didn't see the game.
But whatever did you hear anything?
Yeah, I heard.
Okay. What was your
I heard Chet Holmgren was giving them the business. He was giving them everything they asked for. And Shai, man, we already know about Shai.
Put him in your top 5.
Yeah, man. Shai gonna do what he gonna do.
I think he could win the MVP this year. He was runner-up last year. I think he can win it this year. If they get the number 1 seed again, and he puts up the same numbers, I think he wins the MVP.
Definitely a possibility.
I don't know what the odds are, but I might put some money on that because he that first game that was a statement.
Yeah,
that was a statement to the Nuggets and to the league that we're here. That all that little bro stuff. Nah, we're big dog now.
Yeah.
All you guys that were winning in the past,
the YNs.
Yeah. All you guys that were winning in the past that were getting your wins on us, it's not gonna be sweet anymore. We were the number 1 seed last year. Yeah, we were a little young in the tooth. We were youthful. We weren't that experienced, but we have that experience now.
They came back. The GM is still Sam Presti, right?
Yeah,
Sam Presti. Yep, added some. Went out and got some dudes. They said, "Listen, we was close. We still need more." And that is the signs of a good GM. They still got a bajillion draft picks.
Yep, and they could potentially, if the Clippers don't play well this year, if the lottery, we've seen in the past, having the 13th pick in the lottery, you could still potentially, the 13th best odds, you could still potentially get a top 5 pick. So I'm just saying, NBA. Right now, they're not paying a whole lot of money to all these young guys because they're young, except Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're going to be competing for a long time. A little bit of money, yeah, he's making a little bit of money, but as of right now, the contract, I don't think it's like a very long term. It's like 3 years, something like that. Yeah. 2 or 3 years. It's not that bad. They're the best team in the West, in my opinion. Like, everybody's trying to catch up to them. In the Western Conference, what I noticed, it's not that deep in talent. When you just observe the West as of right now, last year I think it was a lot deeper. This year it's just completely wide open. Like,
especially since the Nuggets is backsliding and the Suns is still the Suns.
If the Lakers, this is a great. I know I keep bringing up the Lakers, but the Lakers, this is a perfect year to make a run. I say that because the West, there's not many obstacles. The Nuggets, they pretty much screwed themselves. The Suns, they still have a problem with the center position. They have a problem just coaching wise, second half adjustments. You have the Timberwolves that we saw the first game when they're limited on offense because you have Gobert, you have Julius Randle that can't really space the floor. And Julius Randle, he likes to hog the ball a lot. Mavericks, defensively, I'm not really sold on from a wing and guard position. The Lakers, any other team in the West that feels like if they make a couple of trades, there's a window. There is a clear window that you can get to the NBA Finals. OKC is great, but they're not this dominant team that is unbeatable. There's no Warriors team. There's not even no Harden Rockets team. Remember the Rockets that one year they won 60 games? There's none of those teams. There's no Nuggets team from like 2023. You can make a run. You have the opportunity. Like, it's wide open. There's not 2 or 3 definitive teams that scare you. This is a perfect year for the West. I think the East is a lot deeper.
Yeah.
The East is a lot deeper with the Knicks, with the Celtics, with the Sixers, possibly Cleveland, and the Magic. I like the East a little bit better than the West.
Yeah, it definitely seems the playoff teams pretty much are set in the East. You pretty much know, but West it could be some shakeup, especially after like the first 4 teams. You know, after like Timberwolves, like you said, the Thunder.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this.
Honestly,
though.
After 2, it's kind of it's up.
It's up in the air. Yeah. It's up in the air. I'll say this though, and then we'll transition after this to baseball, and we'll close it out. But the trade deadline is going to be crazy. I'm going to just put that out right there. Remember what I said. The trade deadline for the Western Conference.
Someone come get Jordan Poole, please.
Just you wait. The trade deadline for the Western Conference is going to be just chaos because a lot of teams are going to feel like they have a chance to win a championship or go to the finals. Just you wait.
I have one more thing before we get to baseball. I got one more thing to say. It's about a player.
Uh-oh.
Victor Wembanyama, you are 7'4". You do not have to play like Kevin Durant. Why, as a 7'4" center, are you taking 8 3-pointers?
Yeah.
You need to be going the Hakeem Olajuwon route. And get your big behind in the paint and use your footwork and agility at that size to get easy buckets. I mean, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It was bad.
Like, why are you 7'4" playing at the perimeter? And why is Pop allowing it?
He's getting up there
Pop,
in age.
you had Tim Duncan. You had David Robinson.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Why are we losing recipes?
I don't. He's getting up there in age. He probably feels like, these players are different now.
Man, nah, you gonna get on that block. You can incorporate Kevin Durant like things into your game because you have that ability. But dog, no, that's unacceptable.
It is. I look at Wemby and
you have generational, rarely seen before measurables. Like you literally don't even really have to jump to dunk. It should be food in the paint. Nobody in the league can really guard you.
Nah, nobody.
Down on a block, are you kidding me? I just don't understand. I just don't.
You know, Wemby, he kind of reminds me like a little bit like a hybrid of Anthony Davis and like a Dirk Nowitzki. That's what he reminds. Well, a hybrid of like a KD, Dirk, Anthony Davis, like just
like
fused together. You know, the thing with him is that I feel like he needs to be more of like an Anthony Davis than a Kevin Durant. In terms of not taking so many threes, like selectively taking a certain, maybe like 3 a game would be good for him, and sticking to like that mid-range to like 5-foot area of the court, you know, the paint to like the mid-range area. If he does that and then take like, you know, a couple threes a game, I think that'll bode well for him. Right now, like his shot selection, it's just it just makes no sense. Like just staying in the perimeter all the time. He's very skinny, but you're 7'4", 7'5". Like there's no excuse. He's so talented. Like he's so talented that he can do whatever he wants. But in order for him to like take that next step, he has to be a lot smarter in his shot selection, and he can't just solely rely on shooting perimeter shots in the outside, like around a 3-point line or like a deep 2, like a long 2.
Like he has like for his size, he's like very nimble. Like we don't see dudes that big being able to move like he does, and he wants to be on the perimeter. You would make a killing on the block in the post game. Are you kidding me?
This was what Kristaps Porzingis' issue was when he came into the league. Is that he's very finesse. More Dirk and just relying on perimeter shot. But is there anything you want to say in regards to Wembanyama before we transition?
No, that was pretty much it. I mean, obviously he's still going to be really good, but I just don't want to see him try to play guard ball at 7'4". It's just, I
think it's just bad. It's just, and it's also like a bad look from the game, like from the basketball that. You know, the evolution of the NBA and stuff is becoming more guard centric in the style of play. I think it can be a bad thing that a guy of his talent just solely relies on playing on the perimeter instead of also taking it upon himself to rely on his size and getting into the paint and just dominating that way. Having all facets of your game instead of just relying on one element of it. I want to go to the final topic. I want to go to baseball because this series, honestly, I'm not a big baseball guy. I was watching the Nationals at the beginning of the season, you know, number one because I was interning and we were, you know, keeping track of the games and stuff for stories and all that. And I just decided I don't want to watch this because it's just bad baseball, and baseball at times can be very slow. Yeah. And if it's a bad game, it's the worst thing I've seen. It's the worst thing you could watch if you watch bad baseball. But for the World Series, for this matchup particular, I'm actually going to watch it because these are two teams that will jump off your screen that's actually very entertaining to watch. And that is the Yankees versus the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. Two great hitting teams, two very entertaining teams, two of the biggest markets in the MLB. The Yankees and the Dodgers, and boy, you talk about a game one. You talk about expectations being reached and surpassed. That was a hell of a game. Hell of a finish. That's how you start a game. I wonder what the ratings are going to be for this series. It's going to be massive. After that game, it has to be massive. Extra innings, 10th inning. Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off home run.
Not just any home run, a grand slam.
Grand slam. You can't make this up. That was an amazing game.
Yeah.
I had an amazing time. What about you?
I only caught towards like the end of the game, but yeah, that was. Whew. That's what it's all about.
That's what makes baseball. That's what makes baseball.
That's what made playoff baseball so good. Like these type of things just happen. It's like, man, you couldn't draw it up any better.
Yeah, and then,
but my thing is, that Yankees pitcher. Why the heck are we walking Mookie Betts when he was terrible this so far?
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what's up with that, but you put a better hitter in prime position to finish in the game, but whatever.
I heard the pitcher that they had out there for like the ninth. I think it was once they took Cole out the game. People were complaining that the manager, the pitcher that they took out there, like why would you take that pitcher out there? I think like situationally he's not all that great, especially for that moment. So they were just complaining about Aaron Boone and just the fact that he made a mistake putting that pitcher out there instead. I guess they wanted to just leave Cole out there.
No, I think they wanted to use someone else.
But they said that pitcher wasn't ready for prime time. They put the wrong pitcher out there, and hey, I don't blame them because it was pretty bad. And man, that was just an amazing game, bro. Like I was a bit bored during the middle of it. I was like, y'all got all these power hitters, and there's not much of any home runs.
Yeah, there needs to be some type of discussion about Aaron Judge in the playoffs. Like he's literally Embiid. He's literally MLB Embiid.
Nah, what the whole him and Stanton remind me of like Jason Tatum.
Stanton actually had a good series.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of like the Celtics and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, where it's like, one guy, he's supposed to be the guy, but he doesn't show up in the play when it matters most, and then the other guy actually shows up when it matters most. So that's what it reminds me of. Like their whole dynamic, both power hitters, both guys that were. I remember Stanton when he was with Miami Marlins. He was that monster, he was that dude. He was that dude. And he comes to the New York Giants, and he's been kind of inconsistent. But this year, he's been great in the playoffs. Yeah, Aaron Judge, he's just been a disappointment.
I just don't understand. He puts up these crazy numbers in the regular season, and he gets to the playoffs and
reminds me of Jason Tatum. Reminds me of Jason Tatum so much. He does that too.
Yeah, but on the Dodgers side, Shohei Ohtani ain't even had that good of a game.
You know what's funny though is when you watch the game, like Jarrett Cole, he was actually giving up like a lot of it was a lot of fly balls, but like a lot of the hits were like close to being home runs. He was getting very fortunate. I think bro, I've never seen this in a baseball game before, but I think it was Freddie Freeman. He broke 2 bats when he was on the mound, like the same exact time he was on the mound. He broke 2 bats. Oh, no, I said on the mound, on the plate. Bruh. I'm like, I've never...
In the same at bat?
Yes.
Oh,
back to back. Like, he broke a bat, got another bat, and broke it again. I'm like, how is that possible? Like, is he superhuman or something? Like, what is going on?
Bats break when...
They do.
When it's like...
A certain angle, like the certain...
It's like the way to make contact with the ball.
Yeah, but like, how just convenient that both times back to back.
Yeah, they
both break.
I think the closer the ball gets from the barrel of the bat, so like I think it'll increase the chance of it breaking.
Yeah, well, he was tremendous. The game, it was just a fun game, man.
Yeah,
it's funny. I in the group chat says Brian. I was like, damn, where the Bronx Bombers at?
Not me, the other Brian. Yeah.
I know. I was like, yo, where's the Bronx Bombers at? Like, y'all got all these power hitters, but it's a soccer ass score right now. And then all of a sudden, Giancarlo Stanton he hits a home run, and I'm like, oh damn. Yeah. But then what's so funny is that the bottom of the 10th, Shohei comes to bat.
People thought he was going to game it.
I was like, I know Brian B, he nervous right now. And he was like, well, and he was trying to be all cool and stuff. He was like, well, if Shohei wins the game, it was expected. But then if Freddie Freeman does it, then it's like, oh shit. And what happened? Shohei, I think he actually was able to get on base.
Yeah.
And then Freddie Freeman came. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
It was over from there. Yeah, that was a great game, man. I can't wait for game 2.
Yeah.
I was watching both the Lakers and the baseball game, and yeah, that was great. All right, man. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope. I think we've covered a lot.
Covered a lot of shit. All right.
A lot of sports, man. It's a good
It's October.
Yeah, man. Good era for sports. Great World Series matchup happening. NBA back. NFL still going strong, hitting midseason form. So teams should be playing much, much better. And yeah, man, it's looking
My
good.
Packers are 5-2, baby. All right. I'll see you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials as well. And we will see you all in the next episode of Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
Salute.
Just let me be me.